Michelle from iHeart Primary, and I am so excited because I'm going to do my very first teacher tag. So I'm going to answer 10 questions, and this is from Kayse Morris. It's her teacher tag, 10 questions for back to school, and I know it's a little past back to school, for us at least. We've been in school, this will be week 4. We're out of school tomorrow, but we'll be back to school on Tuesday, so we're going on week 4 now. I know some of you guys are just starting, so I'm just going to jump on the bandwagon and do my 10 questions, and let's get started. So, question 1. Where do you teach, what grade, and what subjects? So, I am a teacher in Central Arkansas, and I teach first grade, and if you know anything about first grade, that's every subject all the time. And in my school, in our school district, we have one period or one time a week where we do not have an activity class. So we have, one day a week where we do not get to go to any kind of activity classes because of the way the state law runs. We don't have to have any. We don't have to have so many minutes of certain activity classes. So one day a week we have our kids for all day except lunch and recess. So I have PE, music, and art 3 days a week, and then we are lucky enough in my school to have a computer lab on a 4th day, and then on that 5th day I'm with my babies all day long, so I have like extra activities and things that we do with them. So I teach all the different subjects all the time, and I teach first grade. Next question. When does your school start for you? So I kind of already answered that. Our school started on August 14th of 2017, and I went back to school, actually started back to school about the last week of July with some teacher workshops, and then started in my classroom. We were able to get back in the first week of August, and then had some other teacher workshops and things, and then we officially started for teachers on August 7th, and then the kids came on August 14th. And question 3, what fun things did you do this summer? So this summer I got to take my babies down to Disney World, and my parents live down in Orlando. They just moved down there about 3 years ago now. And so we got to take my babies, I have 3 kids, and we got to take them down to Disney World and down to the beach, and got to spend a wonderful summer down there with them. And then came back and just kind of rested and relaxed and did some things around in our hometown. So we had a wonderful summer. Question 4, give 3 tips to teachers when starting back to school. Ooh, that's a tough one. Tip number 1, be as organized as possible. I always think if you are organized and you have things ready to go, then that'll make your day run more smoothly, because you never know when things are going to happen, like copier is going to run out of paper, or you're going to have a long line, or you're going to have a parent that's going to come in and want to talk, or have extra emails or things. So if you're organized and you have extra things copied and extra things, then it's going to make your day run so much more smoothly, especially if you have difficult students to work through. Tip number 2, procedures. Don't get bogged down in trying to put as much on the students' plates. It's more important to work with them on procedures, hallway procedures, bathroom procedures, sharpening pencil procedures, walking to their spot. We don't have spot seats in our classroom. We have flexible seating, but like walking to their spots or choosing their spots in my classroom, lining up in the cafeteria, back and forth, procedures. The more time that you spend on that, the better your year is going to run. So if you can stay organized throughout the day and make sure you have all of those things, and then spend as much time on procedures as possible, I think that's going to really help you. And then number 3, I think really taking time for yourself and back to school. A lot of teachers get run down really quickly and get sick, and then you're out, and then you end up having to have sub-plans, and then that can throw a whole kink in your schedule. So I really think it's important to take time for yourself. We end up staying really late and overworking ourselves. And I think if you set some time for yourself, that's really important. So at least trying to go out with your girlfriends or other teachers and have some coffee or a drink and just relax and vent. I think that's really important at back to school time. So that's key. I'm sorry, I'm looking at my iPad to see these questions. Question 5. What's your back to school go-to resource? Teachers pay teachers. I love me some teachers pay teachers. And I think that there's no better resource than other teachers. And I'm just starting out on Teachers Pay Teachers. I think I have like 5 products on there. So I am definitely not a go-to person to say, come visit my store. Don't come visit my store. I barely have anything on there. But I love going to other teacher stores. I love Tunstall's Teaching Tidbits. She's my go-to person on there. Fun and First, I love her. But I love Teachers Pay Teachers. I think going to and using other teachers, that's key at back to school time. So, and then teacher blogs and Pinterest and Instagram, I mean everything. But I think when you go to other teachers' blogs, and especially like Pinterest and Instagram, and you see these perfect classrooms, then you can end up getting like down on yourself as a teacher, and you can end up saying, well, my classroom doesn't look as good, or their classroom is perfect, and you know, they have things all lined out everywhere, and you end up doubting yourself as a teacher. So don't do that. Just do what you can and have faith in yourself as a teacher and do what's best for students. So next question. Who do you follow on social media that inspires you? I kind of already answered this, but again, I love Reagan Tunstall. I think she is amazing. I don't know where her brilliant ideas come from, but I wish I could be her. I love Kayse Morris. I wish that wish I could meet Kayse Morris. I think I wish that she would do more like on technology. So if you're watching Kayse Morris, I really want you to like throw in some more videos on like how you do the technology side of all of this. So throw those videos out there for us, please. And then, gosh, who else? I love Pocket Full of Primary. I'm kind of sad that she moved from 2nd to 4th. I think it's great for her, but I loved her 2nd grade stuff, so I hope that she has as much success in 4th grade math. And then I love The Lettered Classroom. I follow her a lot. I've been following her since she was in kindergarten, but since I'm in 1st grade, a lot of her stuff now, I kind of get bits and pieces of. So it's kind of hard because when you're 1st grade and you're looking for other social media influences, you know, you want to find other people that are around. I've just started watching like the Kinderhearted Classroom, but you know, she's kindergarten and I'm 1st, and I think she's in a private school, so it's completely different. I'm in like Little Rock, Central Arkansas school, so it's real urban. You know, we can get, it's kind of completely different worlds. So, you know, it can just be different. Next question. What routine do you set for your students in your classroom on day 1? Day 1, surprisingly, I don't really have much of a routine because you have to kind of expect the unexpected. In my school, we're open classroom, open concept, so we don't have doors. We have a lot of parents coming in and out. We have a lot of student registration on day 1, so you kind of have to expect the unexpected. I have things kind of jotted down on a notebook on day 1, and we have flexible seating. I do it anyway. So my kids, like day 1, come in and they find a seat, and I have everything kind of laid out on tables. Sorry about that, guys. My camera cut off on me and I had to fix it. So I think I left off on what routine do you set for your students in your classroom on day 1. So I think I was talking about my kids coming in, and we have about an hour of them being in the classroom and us having to visit with parents and pack supplies. And so we had to make sure that they have plenty to do in that aspect. Now, after the students are in the classroom and the parents have all gone, I like to just start smack dab on day one with whatever routines that I normally have in my classroom. So I call my students to the carpet every morning with It's a Beautiful Day. It's a song on YouTube. I'll try to link that song down below, but I always call them to the carpet with that song. I like to get our morning started off with that song, and they love that song. So that brings them from wherever they're seated around the room. They clean up and they come to the carpet. Usually we have like sight word bins or STEM morning bins or something along those lines. But on day one we don't start off that way. So it's whatever activity they're doing. They come to the carpet and we start off with our morning procedures. So I get them started with calendar. We talk about the layout of our classroom. We read Know David, talk about the rules, and I have them give me the rules that they think we should have in our classroom. And then after we make a chart of those rules and the whole class agrees upon those rules, then we all sign that chart, and that is what our rules are in the classroom. I don't like to create our rules and have those pre-hanging. I like the students to have a say-so in our classroom rules, so they are different from year to year. Then we do like a school scavenger hunt, so that the students kind of get a layout of the school, especially if they're new, and even if they aren't new, it's good to just have a refresher, especially in our school since we are open concept. Sometimes it can still be a little overwhelming around our school. We are multi-level, so it's good to have just a little scavenger hunt so they can kind of refresh their memory of where things are, like the nurse and secretary and the counselor, things of that nature. That usually takes a good chunk of time in the morning. So we do bathroom procedures, like I said before. This is a good time to talk about hallway behavior, behavior lining up in the cafeteria. It's a good time to practice that so that it's not like right at lunchtime. Bathroom behavior, water fountain procedures, that sort of thing. It gets them up and moving around the school, and then usually by about the time that we get done with all of that, it is time to come back in. We might have time for one more story, and then it is lunch. And then after lunch and recess, we do usually another story pertaining to like the first day of school. I like to do first day jitters, and we talk about how they felt on the first day of school. And then I get a good writing sample from them during that time. And then we usually have activity class, so it's a good time to talk about activity class procedures and rules. And then when they come back from activity, in our schedule, we have an earlier dismissal than most every other school district in our state. Our dismissal is at 2:25. So we talk, when we come back from our activity class in the afternoon, we have about 30 minutes or so before we need to start dismissal procedures. So we get back from activity on the first day of school. There's not a whole lot of time to do much else. We do a lot of dismissal procedures, bus procedures, walker procedures, that sort of thing. So it's the first day of school is procedures, 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 like I talked about before. Next question. One thing or item that you can't live without during the school day. This is a tough one for me because I've taught in a lot of different schools, in a lot of different school areas where I didn't have a lot throughout the years. So I feel like I'm able to adapt to not having a lot. So, desks or no desks, I prefer no desks. I can do without those. I've lived without technology, so I can do without that. Don't get me wrong, I do love having access to a smart board, having access to iPads. I feel like it definitely benefits our students. But I feel like I can live without that if I need to. So that's a really tough question for me. Something that I feel like I don't think I can't live without. That's tough because I don't feel like there's anything that I can't live without. for my students. I feel like I could make or figure out an alternative for just about anything at the first grade level. Probably maybe crayons. I don't think we could go a day without crayons of some kind, but that's tough, because maybe we could. Because we maybe could have something else in its place. So maybe I can't answer that question. That's a tough one. Maybe if you have some ideas for me, leave it in the comment section below, because I don't think that there's anything I can't live without. If I had to absolutely live without something. I don't think there's anything I can't live without. Next question. Easy lunch pack recipe for teachers. I would love to say that I am a go-getter on the lunch wagon, and on Sundays I meal plan and we have perfect lunches every single week, but I have 3 kids and that's just not happening. So in my world, I have a fridge, and in my fridge I have a wonderful, amazing partner teacher, and we take turns putting meats and cheeses and bread and chips and pickles and soups and those sorts of things in our fridge, and keeping each other stocked. And we just kind of take turns by the week and just kind of buy things, and we just share the responsibility of buying some things and keeping things in our fridge. However, that has not always been the case. So if it were me and I had to go back and think about my first year of teaching and what I put in my cabinet, I had a little Tupperware drawer in my classroom that I kept like the little Campbell's single serving soups in, and I had those in my cabinet for days when I absolutely needed something. Those were a lifesaver for many, many months, especially on a budget. I know a lot of teachers like Roman noodles and all that, ramen noodles, but I don't necessarily want to have to worry about boiling water, and that just takes too much time for me. So I would just rather have the little cup of soups. But I don't think there's no shame in your game if you have peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. So I think you could definitely do that, and cheese and crackers and that sort of thing. And now I love some salads. So if you have time to like meal plan and do like bowls of salads and plan those out, and then just keep those in your fridge, and then just take out a salad, you know, each day, I think that's a great thing to have, because that's going to provide you with lots of vitamins and nutrients that's going to keep you. Put some protein in it, some nuts, that's going to keep you full throughout the day. So that's a great thing to have in your fridge. I'm big on nuts and proteins and things throughout the day to keep you full and nourished. But sometimes that's just not realistic in my world. So I like to have my fridge, and I'm lucky enough to have a big fridge that has like the little mini freezer. So sometimes I even have some of the little meals and stuff in the freezer. There's a brand of organic burritos. I can't remember the name of it. I'll see if I can find them and link them in the description box. But they are like bean and rice burritos, and they're amazing. And they're in the organic section. And where I live, it's Kroger. I don't know if Walmart has organic section or not, because I don't shop at Walmart. But they're amazing, and one burrito I think is like 210 calories, and they are wonderful. And you pop one of those in the microwave, and that gives you, I think, your daily dose of protein, and they keep you full. So, and I like to just put a little bit of shredded cheese on it too, because I'm a cheese eater. So those are also great to keep in the freezer if you have access to a freezer. So I think there's just a lot to be said about that. But also tuna. If you like tuna fish, there's something to be said for the little tuna to go packets with the little crackers, and then you just mix them up. Those are awesome too. So, and you can keep those in your little Tupperware drawer. Whatever you have to do, because my lunch break, I don't know about y'all, but my lunch break, by the time I drop my students off and get back down to my classroom, I might have maybe 15 minutes sometimes for lunch. Sometimes it's 20, depending on if I have to go to my mailbox to check my mailbox in the teacher's workroom, or if I stop to talk to other teachers or whatever. So sometimes I don't have very long. All right, and then last question: what do you love most about back to school? Okay, y'all are gonna think I'm really weird, but my favorite thing about back to school is the new smells. That's weird. At least I think it's kind of weird. I love new smell crayons and the apple smells and the pumpkin smells, but my favorite thing is to be sitting in my classroom and to be like staring at the new school supplies that the kids have just brought in, and to be looking at their new labels and the new stuff on the walls that's just freshly laminated, and to be sitting there with the apple, my apple Scentsy going, and to just be looking around and go, that's my favorite thing in the world. It's like Christmas to me. It's like new everything again. The freshly sharpened pencils and crayons that are all pointy again. I'm so weird. So that is my absolute favorite thing. It's like a fresh start. You get a whole new bunch of kids, and there's so many possibilities, and they're all ready to go. And maybe it's just the age that I teach, but they're all so excited, and they're so ready to start the year, and they love you so much, and they can't wait, and they're so nervous and excited, and their parents are ready for school to start, and they're just their smiles, and they're just fresh, and it's just a wonderful, exciting time of year. It's just my favorite thing, just all brand new. I just love the smell of everything. It's just fresh, and I don't know. I'm just weird like that. I just love. It's like one of my favorite things is to go to a library and it's like new books. I just love all that new smell. So I hope that you enjoyed this teacher tag video as much as I enjoyed doing it. So please check out my other videos, and please check out my blog, my iHeart Primary Teacher blog, and check out my other videos on my channel, and I will catch you guys later.